Hey guys, so today I'm going to show you guys how I completed this 613 blonde lace closure wig. And I'm going to show you all my tricks, or I'm going to tell you guys some of the tricks that I have or that I use to make this unit. So let's get right into it. So starting off, I'm using some pins, some thread, a needle, and I'm going to use a dome cap with a dome head add on to the dome cap. Also, I had 3 bundles and a closure for this unit. I'll have the description of the actual length below, and then I'm just showing you guys like how the hair looks like lively, or take that out of the bag. And then I showed you guys the close-ups of the lace closure as well. So yeah, let's just get into this thing. Okay, so for me, at the bottom of my wigs, I like to start with double wefts. I don't start to single weft my tracks until I get to the very top, like the last bundle. But right here, I'm just, I'm struggling to get that pin inside the dome or inside the mannequin head. I don't know, it just didn't want to go through, but it finally ended up going through after some, heart and soul. And then I just started to show you guys how I started to sew. So when you're starting to sew, you do want to make sure you're not sewing the needle and thread into the actual elastic band that's already in the normal dome cap, because it's going to take away from the how do you pronounce that? Elasticity? It's going to take away from the stretching of the dome cap when you're customer or when you're trying to put it on your head. So just make sure you're not sewing the band. You're not sewing through the actual band that's in the dome cap. After I've completed my first bundle out of my 3 bundles I'm going to be sewing down, I do like to move on to my lace closure. So you see I'm just moving the lace closure down a little bit past the actual dome cap. It just gives you a more realistic look when the wig is fully done and it's on the client's head or your head. And then I'm just basically measuring up the lace closure to make sure all 3 sides of the closure is like perfectly aligned. Like make sure there's no lumps or no empty spaces. Make sure it's all aligned, which I'm going to show you guys in the next clip closer up how straight everything should be. So if you look closely, you see how it's like straight, like it's all straight. It's not flying in the air. It's not a little loop. It's all straight. And that's how you're going to sew it straight back. You're going to sew it straight back just like that, with no lumps, no, nothing interfering. Right here, I'm showing you guys how I'm going to proceed to sew the lace. As you see, I don't start right at the beginning of where the lace starts. And there's a reason why. It's because, you see, once I pull that thread through, it has that ending where I've tied the knot of it. I don't want that knot to be in the front of my wig. So to avoid that, I do it like a couple spaces back and start sewing there. And then I start to make my way back to the front. And then you'll see, like, once I start sewing it in the front, there won't be any like that end of the lace, the end of the thread where I knotted it at, that won't be at the tippity top of the lace. So we try to make this as flat and as invisible. You want to avoid seeing any of the black thread, because this is all blonde hair. So you definitely want to make sure you're careful with how you're threading or sewing down this unit. Now, sewing my second bundle, I do it the same as the first bundle. It's still double wefted. I sew it double wefted, and I'm just doing the same thing I did with the first bundle. I don't change anything up until I get to the third bundle, and that's when you're gonna start to see me do it in a single form. Like I'm not gonna double weft it; it's gonna be single wefted. So as I told you guys before, I do single weft the very last bundle, and I'm about to show you guys that right now. Like basically, I'm just showing you. I pinned down my tracks just to make sure they don't move anywhere when I'm trying to sew them down. But yeah, this is single, and I'm gonna keep singling it all the way up until I get all the way up, like so there's no more black spaces left on the wig. So this part is optional. You see right here where it's circled at, you have the option to add a track right there or not. Because it's a blonde wig and I have black thread, I decided not to add the track because I was trying to avoid the black thread being visible. But if you do want to add it, I would advise you to probably just use some hair glue. So lastly, I'm going to add some mousse to the front of the lace closure to tame those flyaways. But mainly it's just to get ready to start plucking the front of it. This closure was very thick, so I was plucking it for a little bit of while. And it still ended up a lot thick, so I don't know. Maybe it's just the hair company. But yeah, just tweeze as much as you think you need to tweeze. Make sure you're not making the lace look like it's balding, though. Like, we don't want it to look balding. We want it to look flat. So here's the final look. I liked it. I liked the outcome of it. I wish the closure got a little flatter, but some people's closures are a lot thicker. But make sure you guys like this, leave comments below, and make sure you guys subscribe. I also added a little bonus clip for you guys, so stay tuned for that.